Hello, everyone. I wanted to welcome you to the Rocky Mountain MS Center Zoom exercise class we've been doing while we are still at stay-at-home orders and kind of being asked to stay at home if we're at higher risk populations. My name is Michele Harrison. I'm a physical therapist, and I've worked with the Rocky Mountain MS Center for over 30 years now. So to start our class today, I thought we would go through just a bit of mindfulness and some breathing exercises that are a way to be mindful. When we talk about mindfulness, it's basically being in the present moment, being in the now. And one of the easiest ways to connect mind and body and to become kind of in the now or in the present is to work with the breath. Breathing is automatic, but it's also something that we have some control over. We can actually change our breath patterns if we want to. It's one of the ways, if we are paying attention to our breath, that we are being in the present moment. It's easy. It's something you can take along with you anywhere. It's easy to transport, and it's a great way, I think, even to do just a reset if we're feeling anxious or stressed or feeling kind of like we need to be a little more in control of things during this uncertain time that we're going through. So let's start with some mindful breathing. And what I would like you to do is to sit in a chair, and if you can, try and sit up tall. Try and not sit just slumped in a chair. Try to sit upright, bringing your head up, but making sure your chin is tucked just a little. Your hands can rest on your legs or on your lap. And I want you, I find it easier sometimes to cut out all the visual input that I get by closing my eyes. And what we're going to do is just be aware of the breath. As you take a breath in, you'll feel the cool air coming in over your lip, into your nose, into the back of the mouth cavity, down into the throat, into the lungs. As you're breathing in, you're going to feel your rib cage expanding and your belly rising. As you breathe out, you're going to feel your belly contracting or pulling back towards your spine. You feel the warm air coming up from the lungs, into your throat, out through the nose, maybe the mouth, depending on how you're breathing. And I would just want you to follow the breath as if it's a wave. We're just going to practice this a few moments. Don't try and change your breath pattern. And when your mind wanders, which it will, you want to acknowledge those thoughts. You don't kind of berate yourself because you've had a thought and you lost concentration. You just acknowledge that thought and kind of let it go, almost as if you could put that thought into a balloon and just let it float away. And then paying attention back to the sensation of the breath in and breath out. If you can, try to, with the out breath, allow all the tension you might be feeling just kind of melt away. Let the tension go out of your face and your neck and your shoulders. And again, if your mind wanders, go back to the breath. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and realize that doing practice like this, you can do a few minutes, and that's great. You can build up the amount of time that you do this every day. You can use it when you're in a stressful situation and you feel like you need to bring down stress or anxiety levels. So just a useful technique for us. Now we're going to start with stretching and strengthening. Starting from the top, I'm a creature of habit, so I'm going to start with neck stretches, and then we'll work our way down the body. So let's start with an ear to shoulder stretch. Your head should be just ear to shoulder, not a turn, correct? Just kind of tipping to the side. You should feel a stretch on the opposite side. So if I'm bringing my ear to this shoulder, I should feel stretch on this side of my neck. Now the other side. And back. We're going to repeat each side. And back. Now we're going to do a rotation. So you're going to bring your nose to the right. You'll feel a stretch down along the front of your neck. That muscle that you're feeling is your sternocleidomastoid. Back over. Those muscles get tight if our head is forward or if we have really tight neck muscles. Back to the first side. Trying to get your nose over your shoulder if you can. The straighter that you sit up, the more you're going to be able to rotate your neck. And the other side. Now let's do a big half circle down across your chest. So it's like you're drawing a necklace, your chin to your shoulder, down across your chest to the other side. If that gives you a lot of that zingy, what they call Lhermitte's feel, kind of a zappy electrical feel, you can do a smaller circle. Or you could just do more rotation if that bothers you. Don't be in a rush to do this. Should feel kind of like your neck is limbering up, getting some movement in between all the joints of the neck. Now, let's move on to rolling your shoulders. Up, back, and down. So I want you to think about, this is a tuck of the shoulders up, but we need to work on kind of spreading the shoulder blades or squeezing the shoulder blades together and spreading the chest out in front, and then bringing the shoulder blades down along your rib cage. So up, back, and around. Up, back, and around. If you hear some cracking and crunching, it means you have some tight areas, maybe some muscular adhesions in that area. It's good to move here. Now let's go the other direction. Let's go up, forward. We're stretching in the back a little bit and down. Up, forward, and down. Good. All right. Our next movement, we're going to lift our hands up. Now, if you need to help one hand, you can certainly grab the wrist or in the hand and lift up this way. But I'd like you to lift your hands above your head and then back down. Trying not to scrunch your shoulders while you do this. Keep the shoulders low. Lift the arms. If you can do both hands on their own, you can do it this way. Lift up and down. Now, if you want to make that a little more work, we can add weights. We can use basic food cans from your pantry, and we can lift up and make that a little more of a strengthening activity. If that's too much, don't use the weights. You have weight in your arms, so you'll be getting a good workout that way as well. Excuse me. Breathe out, in, breathe out, in. Good. Now, let's take our cans. We're going to work that shoulder blade area again. Shoulder blades they have a job to help your arms be able to lift up above your head and give you stability in the back. So right now what we're doing is squeezing our shoulder blades together and relaxing. Squeeze, expanding the chest area and relax. Trying to make kind of like a little divot or a ditch area in the back. Hold back, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down, or together. Bring your hands back, 2, 3, 4, 5, and together. Back, 2, 3, 4, 5, and together. Back, 2, 3, 4, 5, and together. Let's do a couple more of those. Two, 3, 4, 5, and back. Now, counting while you're doing this may help you from holding your breath while you're doing something. So that's good too, to think of using the counting as a way to help with your breathing. Hands up and over. We're going to do jumping jack arms. Again, keeping the shoulders low, trying not to scrunch your shoulders up. Good. Now, and again, anytime you get tired, you can always just do the motion without. If you get tired in between, set the cans down. Anywhere through this exercise routine, if you get fatigued and you need to step out for a few repetitions, do that. That's perfectly fine. It's good to pace yourself. So the next strength exercise we're going to work on is for your rotator cuff. Again, very important for shoulder movement and function. So as you can see, I'm not going out and in with my arms. I'm keeping my elbows at my side. My hands, with or without the cans or the weights, are going to roll out like you're opening the door and you're shutting the door. And you're opening the door and you're shutting the door. Or a gate. Kind of like it's rotating on that little axis to open. And that comes from the shoulder. Again, all these movements are very important for shoulder movement and function. Breathing. Kind of feeling a hole in the back when you roll the hands out. And when you roll in, you're working more the anterior side of your shoulder. Now, let's take our cans or our hands out in front with or without the weights. And again, if you don't want to use the weights, that's fine. We're going to turn our whole body to one side, to your right side, and then turn to the other side, to the left side. Make sure you're not just doing your arms. I want to see your trunk twist. Starting to warm up the middle here, your abdomen. So we can do some work for that core, for your abdominal and back muscles. Now let's do a figure 8 or an infinity sign. And again, making sure your torso is turning. And once more, the straighter up that you sit, the more rotation you can get from your spine. Now I want you to pull to one side like you're rowing a boat, and then the other side, you're paddling a canoe maybe. Again, turning the torso, spine is nice and upright and straight. Good. All right. How are we feeling? Feeling it? Yes, no? I hope you're starting to feel a little bit. The next movements we're going to do are strength muscles for your stomach. So strengthening for the stomach. I want you to scoot forward on your chair. I am going to turn myself sideways just so you can see what I'm doing. So you're going to scoot your buns forward on your chair, and then we'll put our hands on our chest and we're going to lean backwards. And you're bringing your ribs down towards the pelvis. You're curling down a little bit here, okay? I'm going to turn and face you now. Hands on your chest. And again, I'm at the front of my chair, so then I can lean backwards. And then I can sit up and come forward to my knees and lean back. Trying to relax the neck so you aren't straining with your neck to come forward. Lean forward and lean back. Lean forward and back. And forward and back. If you're feeling it in your neck, make sure that you, again, are focusing to bring your ribs to your pelvis, right? Kind of shortening that distance in between. Remembering to breathe, don't hold your breath. Again, if you need to take a break at any point in time. You can join back in as soon as you feel a little rested. Breathe out, in, breathe out, and in, out, and in, out. How are we doing? Are we starting to feel it? And again, if you feel it in your back, try to utilize the stomach muscles so that they're supporting your back. Now, let's bring your left elbow to your right knee. Come across and then lean all the way back to the chair. Doing a diagonal. You should feel this in a little different part of the abdominals now. Come across, touch to the knee, and lean back and across, trying to keep your feet down on the floor. If your feet want to come up, it means you're using your hips more. So I'd like you to really concentrate again on the abs, using your abdominals versus the legs to substitute. Two more. Now we're going to change sides, switch sides. Right elbow to the left, across, and back. Again, you're still in that position where your buns are at the beginning or the front of your chair, right? You're all the way to the front. Lean back, sit up and across. And again, keeping the neck fairly relaxed. And breathing. Two more. If you brought water with you, you can always take a sip of water during your workout. It's always good to have a little bit with you when you're working. Now, let's work. We're going to work a different part of the abdominals now, where we're going to work your lower abdominals. So what I want you to do, it's in a very similar position, but you are going to be at the front of your chair. I'm going to turn again. You do not have to turn, just so that you can see. I'm going to lean back about halfway till I feel my abs starting to hold. So it's as if I'm not going to lean back on the back of the chair. I'm going to lean back just far enough that I feel my abdominals holding. All right, now we're going to lift one leg up, and now I want you to punch your hands up over your head. And again, ribs are down towards the pelvis, so your spine is a little curled down, your ribs to pelvis, so you feel it in the tummy, not in the neck or the back. Switch legs. Should be feeling this in a little different part of the abdominals. Now, we're going to kick out. Kick out. Again, still staying halfway off that chair back. Breathing. Okay, and relax. Take a big breath. And relax. Let's do one more abdominal exercise. We're going to go into that half leaning back position. We're going to lift one leg, hands either mirroring each other or helping one if you need it. And we're going to bring our hands side to side. Switch legs. Okay, now I'd like you to sit up tall, and we're going to work our legs. We're going to march. Lift, lift, lift. And if you can, stay seated up tall. Try not to crunch back when you do this motion, right? Or slouch back. Lift the legs. Take a break at any time if you need to, remembering to breathe and to keep that good upright posture. If you want, you can go faster, like you're jogging almost from your chair. Swinging those arms if you'd like. How are we doing? Getting a little tired? Okay, we'll move on to another activity. We're going to work the sides of the hips now. Out, almost like a jumping jack leg. Together. Out, together. Do the arms and the legs if you can. Remembering to breathe. Out, together, out, together. If you wanted to go all the way up, you could with your hands. Two more. Good. All right. Now I'm going to turn my camera down just a little bit. We're going to do a couple activities. One is going to be for hip rotation, and the other is going to be, and I'll move it down even further for the ankles here. So can you bring your left leg, bring your heel up to the opposite knee if you can. Let's try and alternate those. Can you do that? You could do one side at a time. If you needed somebody around you to help, use them just to help you have enough lift that you can get that leg across. So we can do, say, 2 or 3 on a side, or we can just alternate. So we could alternate. We could do one side, we could do a few on one side and then a few on the other. Whatever works best for you and feels like you are best able to participate in this movement. Good. We'll do a couple more sets here. And now we're going to move down to our feet or ankles. Feet and ankles have important jobs for us, for stability and balance and helping us walk. So what I'd like you to do, I'm going to turn so you can see my toes lifting. Keep your heels on the floor and lift your toes up. I'll face you again. Now, we're going to work muscles that, those muscles that lift your toes help you pick your feet up when you walk. The muscles up and out to the sides and up and in are also muscles that help with keeping your ankles stable. Up and out to the side, particularly if your ankles tend to roll, your foot likes to roll under, these are good muscles to help strengthen. Your peroneal muscles, your everters. But again, both sides of the joint, just so we have more stability overall. We can do up and in, up and out, pinky toes out, big toes up and together. And when you're doing this, I want you to look at your knees. Are you doing a lot of this? That means you aren't really, you're not, if you're doing that, you're doing more of a knee or a hip motion. So try and keep the knees still as you're working those ankles. Good. All right. We'll do a couple more sets here. Feel the burn maybe down in your shins. Good job. We've done a lot of work so far. Now, I'm going to bring the camera back up. And we're going to do either a leg lift to the side or a sit to stand motion. So you might get a folding chair if you have one, a walker, a counter. Let's see where we're best here. If you can, holding on, and we're gonna do some deep squats, like you're gonna go sit in a chair and you change your mind. Now, if you cannot get up out of your chair for this activity, I'll bring this down a little bit again. We're gonna do, or if you're too tired to do a sit to stand, I would like you, I'll turn sideways again, you do not need to, but I want you to do a leg lift out. Hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. Leg lift out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. Leg lift out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. And again, trying not to do a lot of curling if you can help it. If you need help with this motion, just to get it, have somebody just lift as little as possible to help you straighten that leg out. Tighten the thigh muscle. Tighten the thigh muscle. 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. And if you can think about maybe not pointing your toe down to get that motion, keeping the foot kind of upright while you're lifting from the knee, above the knee, that muscle here. This is what you should be working, and then sitting forward. For those of us doing sit to stands, we're going to go down. Then we're going to think of squeezing your buns, tightening your thighs, and lifting. Go down and lift. Let those knees bend over those feet. Down and up. Down and up. That's 5. Let's do 10, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, if you wanted to, you could do another set, but I think at this point, we will move on to some stretching. To help you stretch, you can just scoot to the front of your chair and put your foot on the floor. But I think it's great if you have a footstool, a trash can, a box, so that you can bring one foot up in front of you. And then what I'd like you to do is to sit up tall and then reach forward to your foot. You take your hands and you lean forward just as far as you can till you feel a pull behind your knee, maybe all the way up into your buns. I'm gonna turn sideways so you can see me. So this motion looks like this. You lean forward, sit up, lean forward at the hips. Now, if you're having a hard time doing that, you can take a belt. You can take a yoga belt. You could use just a regular belt. You could use a bathrobe belt. If you make something into a loop, it's going to be a little bit easier for you to, or a gait belt that you have, to hold on to that loop than like maybe the two ends of a towel. Then I want you to use the belt to bend yourself forward. And you're going to hold. Then we're going to take the belt and we're going to move it up to the ball of the foot, and we're going to pull back on the calf. You're going to lean forward at the hips again, and you're going to hold. Again, if you slump down and go, I can go way further if I curl my body. But if I sit up tall and bend forward at the hips, that's about as far as I can go comfortably. And I really feel it all the way down. I feel it now in my calf because I'm trying to pull the foot back towards me, as well as behind the knee. If your foot wants to roll in, try and pull on the outer side of the belt. Let's do the other foot. Again, bring that leg up. Try and sit up tall and bend forward at your foot, or bend forward towards your foot. Reaching towards your foot is what I should say. Again, you can use the belt around the middle of the foot if you need to, just to be able to bring yourself forward. Trying to keep the toe pointing up, not flopping out to the side. Now let's move the belt up around the ball of the foot. And now we're going to pull back on that ankle, right? Can you see that? Pull back. If you want to lean forward, then you will feel all the way down the leg, all the way from the hip to the knee, down into the calf. Again, if your foot wants to roll in, pull on that outer side of the belt. Have somebody help position your legs if you need that to do this activity. All righty, now let's cross one leg over and try and lean forward. I will bring the camera back up a little bit. If you can't get your leg up over your other knee, maybe you can put it on the footstool in front of you or have somebody help you hold it up so you feel stretch in this side of your hip. If you lean forward, you may feel it in your back. I'd like you to feel a medium pull on the hip or on the muscles that we're stretching, and I really feel it here. Let's switch sides. If you need to, you can use your belt to help pull your foot up so you can reach it. And again, lean forward. You'll find typically one side's tighter than the other. This is certainly my tighter side. Good. Now, I'd like you to bring your hands, lace your fingers. Let's do this. We'll go up, lace your fingers together here, and bring your hands up over your head. Try and stretch back a little bit. Hands behind your head, elbows back. Excuse me. And relax. So we've done a pretty full body exercise program. And I thought what we could end with is a little gratitude practice. And you may ask, well, why do I want to do that? Well, there's some really good research that shows that practicing gratitude, or people that are more grateful, in positive psychology research shows positive physical health benefits as well as happiness and more increase in relationships. There's a number of pretty well studied benefits of gratitude. So what I've been trying to do, I have a journal. I have a gratitude journal, and even if I don't get it written down now, every day I try and think of 3 new things that I'm grateful for. So my gratitude list isn't, okay, I'm happy for my house, my family, my dog. It's yesterday it was for my purple tulips that came up. It was for the fabulous pink sky for the sunset last night. And then just watching the moon poke between the silhouette of the trees for me were 3 things I was really grateful for yesterday. And another one is being able to do this Zoom class with you guys. So I would like you to think of 3 things you're grateful for, and hopefully you can share that with someone, a friend on the phone or a family member at home, and maybe start that practice as well. I've found it really makes me be thankful for the little things around me, not just the great big, big momentous moments in life, but to kind of enjoy this journey through life and through these challenging times right now. So I'd like to thank you for your time and your participation, and I hope you have a great day.